So know our passion, our power, our culture, know our name.
Very, very warm welcome to everybody here on the BBL Player YouTube for the big game in town tonight in the BBL Championship Week 2. Cheshire Phoenix take on the Newcastle Eagles. Big, big game for both teams, having had defeats recently. Very warm welcome to everybody. Like I say, my name's Mark Timperley, and I've got my very good friend and co-commentator here tonight, Salty. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Good evening. Thanks for having me again. Must have done something right last week, Mark. Inviting me back this week.
Absolutely. It was great fun. Had a good time. Yeah, like I say, big game for both teams last week. Started off well with Newcastle, with Phoenix. Phoenix win on Friday night against Surrey. But then disappointed back at home last week here against Plymouth, and Newcastle had their first defeat on Friday night. First game defeat on Friday night against Manchester Giants. You see the rosters are up on the pretty full. Kennedy for the Eagles suited up for the first time this season. You'll see Larry Austin Jr. on the team sheet and also warming up.
Coach Thomas earlier just to see how Larry was going, and he seems to be not at 100%, but he's gonna give it a crack tonight and see how he goes.
Well, that's all good news as far as Phoenix fans are concerned, most definitely. And a bit of an intriguing one, I think, because obviously Newcastle, pretty much an unknown quantity as well as this season after the disastrous season in there by their standards last year, and pretty much a rebuild. Yeah,
and they've done that nearly right across the board. There's only a couple that are back, but it was interesting to see from Friday night's game, their first game in, where a couple of their players hadn't even been out on the floor for pre-season, and I think it showed a little bit. There wasn't the gelness that needs to get them together. So it'll be interesting to see their second game back on the floor, see how they progress from yesterday, and they'll see if they gel a little bit more tonight.
Yeah, that's it. First time last year that they finished outside the playoffs since 2000. Incredible, really. And finished 9th last year.
That's the Newcastle legacy, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Started from Fab.
Yeah. And part of that rebuilding process was obviously Ian McLeod paying the price and Mark Stootle coming on board. So we've got the starting fives for tonight's game. For the Phoenix, we've got Larry Austin Jr., Lloyd Daniels, Jamal Anderson, Mike Ocharobia and Tajai Teague. And for Newcastle Eagles, we've got Javion Hamlet, Ben Mockford returning back to EPSV for the first time since he left the Phoenix last year, Duke Shelton, Brandon Auburns and David Cohn. Say Auburns and Cohn, they were two of them players that's the first time they bounced the ball for Eagles. Yeah,
it was. And we've got to give them a chance to see how they fit into the system, see how they go with a couple of games under their belt. It was interesting. I was watching Cohen shoot in warm-ups, and he was shooting quite well. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes into the game. And we spoke about it last week as well. For people to get into this BBL, people have to adjust to that as well, playing
Absolutely.
In the BBL. So it'd be interesting to see.
It's funny, there's so many people come over here, don't they, and underestimate. I think not underestimate the league as such, but underestimate the physicality of it, the speed of it in particular. It's probably a lot different to what they've played in many, many other countries around the world.
Yeah, and it goes all the way from trainings to being in the locker room to being out on the court to adjusting to how the game's refereed in this country. So yeah, a lot of things to look at.
And we're underway. Larry Austin Jr. with the first play for the Phoenix. Ball down low to Jamal Anderson. He's going to work in and around Mockford. No good first time and blocked on his way up the second time. Great move initially from Jamal there. He knows a lot about Ben. Obviously knows his weaknesses as well.
Well, I'm sure they've played together and against each other a lot. So, but that's a matchup that I would assume they'd go to a lot. Yeah. Jamal with if Mockford's going to be matching up with Jamal.
Mockford drives straight through the middle there. No good. Rebound collected first of all by Shelton, and then Auburn's got the second offensive ball, but he failed to put it back. Austin Jr. driving down the other end and straight through the crowd. Opens the scoring for the evening.
Didn't look anything wrong with him there.
No, not at all.
Pretty loose and strong attack to the basket.
Shelton drives in again, overcooks the layup. And great retrieval by Teague. He's down the other end. Little Euro step, gets fouled. And the foul called on Hamlet. 1 point I think we've seen from that first Newcastle offence, though, is a carry-on from last week. Phoenix not controlling the boards, 2 offensive boards, and they got away with one there, really.
They did. During the week. So I'm sure to be on Coach Thomas's scouting, or not scouting report, but on his system to rebound.
Both free throws good there from Teague. I know, speaking to Coach Thomas beforehand in the locker room last week, one of the big things he had in bold capitals, Hamlet gets a mid-range 2, was box out.
Yeah.
I think there'll be in bigger capitals like this week.
Yeah. There they are again, looking for that matchup. Mockford on Jamal Anderson.
Daniels is short from the corner pocket. Tipped out by Auburn's, and it's going to be the Phoenix ball. Well, there's obviously a height mismatch in there, isn't there? So.
Well, there is, but I'm pretty sure Coach Studel, who's a very good coach and very knowledgeable, has got a defensive system in place, or defensive structure in place for this. That's their matchup right off the bat, and they'll probably have help coming from weak side and top side throughout the game.
Oh, beautiful move there by Anderson. Fake one way, went the other, collected the inbound, and catch and shoot 3 extends the Phoenix lead to 5. 7-2, just under 2 minutes of this game gone.
And that's how we started last week as well, shooting well, Jamal did.
This is the man they need to stone. Larry Austin Jr. has stopped him in his tracks there.
Nice finish.
Great steal. 2 on the transition.
Looks like he's moving freely as well.
Absolutely. Looking at the game on Friday night, then Mockford started off on fire, didn't he? Oh, and a turnover there by Hamlet. Oh, and just a bit too far for Larry to be able to keep in play. And it's going to be an Eagles sideline possession.
Yeah, and I'm sure part of the scouting report for Coach Thomas and the team was, don't let Mockford open. Don't let Mockford open, because you'll just get killed.
Good hands in there by Jamal. Puff of the cheeks. Tells you you'd like to have got a bit more of that. It's Eagles possession again. Hamlet with possession. Goes in himself. Little teardrop, no good. Overcuts it, and Jamal Anderson's away. Oh, and the second time he's passed it out. And overcooked the pass. This time to Daniel. A couple of early turnovers unnecessarily, really, by the Phoenix.
They look like they're trying to turn defense into offense quickly, so they're looking to push that ball up the court as quick as they can. And the fastest way to get the ball up the court is to pass it, but unfortunately it hasn't gone to hand.
Shelton at the top of the key. Hamlet Goes himself again. This time, nice little layup there. Inside back onto his favoured left.
Yeah, Jamal gave him the baseline, but he cut back in and finished, like you say, with his left.
Larry Austin. Now Daniel. 6 on the shot clock. Something's got to go. Like Daniel goes in himself. Oh, what a great lane. And they'll go the long way round. Not much time left on the clock.
Finish.
Great finish. He opens his account for the night and extends, keeps the Phoenix lead at the biggest of the night so far. 11-4. As Mr. 27 comes on court, Darius Defoe for the Eagles. His 19th season as an Eagle. And backcourt violation there from Ben Mockford under intense pressure from Daniel. 19 years.
What a stalwart.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Unreal, unreal. And his knowledge of the game and his presence and his experience in this is invaluable.
Absolutely.
It's something you can't teach and stuff, and he'll be seeing this and trying to help these guys be able to gel together.
Oh, great rebound there from Big Mike. He overcooks the rebound. Defoe manages to clean it up. Get out to Mockford. In the corner to Cohen for 3.
Yep.
Corner pocket. Austin Jr. The long 2, no good. Cohen now for the Eagles. Great ball inside to Kennedy. He couldn't do much with it underneath though, had to run it back out again. Hamlet back to Defoe. Defoe fakes, goes inside. And pulls the foul on Larry Austin Jr.
He tried to take a charge there, but it looked like he was moving, so he wasn't at the place, wasn't at the spot before the ball handler. So
that's Larry's second.
He'll get called for that all day, moving across like that.
So he'll take a rest. Jordan Strawberry with his first taste of the action.
And again, another player, we're talking about the Newcastle Eagle players trying to get involved and find their feet. Strawberry's another one that needs to do, is looking to do the same. He's trying to find his way as well. So, players from both teams still trying to find their way in the league.
Absolutely.
But what needs to happen is you need to be better from the game before. So that's what coaches will be looking for. Let's see if you are better than the game before.
Yeah. I think that's as far as Coach Thomas is concerned. Second goes in there and the scores are all tied. I think after the defeat last week, or after any defeat, any coach wants to see a reaction from his team.
Yeah.
Nice turnaround fade away by Will Neighbour. In and out. And Jamal just fails to grab the rebound. And it's an Eagles ball.
We've had the opportunity for a couple of tap-backs. Mike and Jamal's had a go at it and just not been able to finish.
No, that's it, yeah. Hamlet over the top of Daniels. Too long back iron. Neighbour brings it down to Strawberry. That's a Neighbour. Thought about the 3. Daniel, he thought about the 3. Readjusts. Bought himself a yard. And nailed it on the second attempt.
And that's what he was brought into the team to do, is make those open jump shots.
Defoe in and out at the other end. Rebound brought down by Strawberry. Out in the transition fast. Nice by Teague. And a little... What was that, a teardrop? I don't know what you call that sort of shot.
Yeah,
it had enough on it. It was subtle enough just for all string. And
a little floater.
Ooh.
A little floater. There's a conversation going on with Darius and Paul Walton, one of our crew chief on the referee. Darius looking for a charge and not getting it.
They'll know each other well enough.
Absolutely.
Sure, Mr. Walton will know the game that Mr. Defoe was playing.
Yeah, Darius is looking for that contact,
Yeah.
which is part of Darius's game.
There's something carrying on there. They're both playing it. They're both playing it. No good from the corner pocket from Kennedy. And Strawberry now for the Phoenix. Evans down low to Will Neighbour. A little bit of a mismatch there with Cone, and found himself unchallenged. Put it in off the glass and extends the Phoenix lead back out to the 7 they had just a couple of minutes ago. Kennedy, he goes a long way round. Nice left-handed off the glass himself around Will Neighbour.
Good control of the ball, good control of his body to be able to finish that.
Nice screen there from Labour. Tries to get it. Oh. Thought was looking at getting it back from Strawberry, but we're on different pages there. No substitution for the Phoenix. T coming out. Daniel coming back in.
They were playing big there for a little bit with Will, Teague and Jamal on the court.
Oh, good steal there by Jamal. Here we go. And he runs it home.
Jamal Anderson's defense is a big part of his game.
Absolutely.
And it always has been, but in the last few years, his defense is tenacious. If you want to stop, he's your man. He's your man. But more importantly, his offense is going as well, like we've seen him shooting those threes.
Well, 22 and 21 in his first 2 games. That's if he can get that out of Jamal Anderson, as long with his defensive play, then he's going to be up there in conversations.
He's just a competitor. He just
Absolutely.
never lessens off his game. He's always intense. He's always there. And you know what? Such a nice guy as well.
He is.
Such a great guy.
He is. Very, very nice. Yeah, I've got to know Jamal well over the years, and he is such a really good guy off the court as well. And I think one of the things that there's not much missing from his defensive work. I think one of the things that's probably added to the intensity of that is playing in the 3x3 in the Commonwealth Games this year.
Yeah.
Because that took defence to a different level.
Yeah.
You were allowed a lot more physicality in it.
It is.
It had to be a lot more tenacious. It was such short bursts, wasn't it?
And if you're not onto your game defensively, you'll get found out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah. There's no hiding place in that. There's very little hiding place on a basketball court, but 3x3 is even
more so. Yeah.
I think we touched on that point last year, that he's not only fitness levels maybe, but in terms of where his game level's at.
Yeah, he's a great ambassador for the game, for British basketball, to be honest.
Mockford, great move inside too.
Oh.
And he rolls back the years, slams it home two-handed.
Winding it back, his personal trainer's working well with him, working well for him.
Dragged that 37-year-old body high off the floor.
I love it.
Stuffed it home.
It's great to see.
Absolutely. Peter Pan of the game. Most definitely. Joking apart, though, I mean, he must be in good shape to keep at this level for such a long time.
Yeah, you have to be. And his part of the game is very physical as well.
Absolutely. Model professional in every sense of the word. Anderson for a long three. The game. He's got it in. Second differential on the shot clock as we come to the end of this first quarter. Strawberry for the Phoenix. Inside to Anderson. Anderson over the top of Kennedy. This time it's long. Defoe gets the rebound. 6 seconds left. Cone tries to give it to... I don't think he...
Something like 11 assists last week as he was passing the ball off, but Kennedy, he hesitated a little bit there, and he should have just let it fly the first time he caught it.
So at the end of a high-tempo first quarter, Phoenix lead 26-17 over the Newcastle Eagles. I believe the pitch is still down, so we'll just run over a few stats for you from that first quarter. Leading all scorers for the Phoenix, Lloyd Daniels and Jamal Anderson on 8 points apiece. Larry Austin is on 4. And for the Newcastle Eagles, Darius Defoe leading them with 5 points. Javion Hamlet on 4. And Ben Motford and David Cohn on 3 apiece. So apart from that first offense for the Eagles, that's the only 2 offensive balls they've had all quarter, and 5 for the Phoenix. That's a big turnaround from last week. Yeah,
it's like as if, well, and it definitely would have been spoken about during the week, and something they practiced on during the week, to actually control their defensive boards, because that's a big part of being able to get out on transition and turn defense into offense. So again, part of their defensive strategy would have been to make sure they box out first and then push the ball.
Absolutely. And I think Newcastle got some big bodies in there as well, haven't they? Shelton, Defoe. No, I mean, they've done well. Yourself has come up with some. Got
yep.
8.5 rebounds as well, so
yeah, they know how to crash the boards, and it's just crashing boards is all about hustle and intensity. So two wants it more, I suppose.
Absolutely. We're underway again. Moving it around, back to Hamlet, down low to Mike Ocharobia, but dishes out to Cone, and he banks it home for the 2. Phoenix now, Danny Evans drives in, finds Big Mike unopposed underneath the basket, he stuffs it home. Extends the lead.
More movement off
back
the ball
out to
again.
9.
More movement off the ball.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously had a good week on the training court this week, the Phoenix. The things they're doing now, all positive in this first part of the game. Cone over the top of Strawberry, no good. And Neighbour and Duke Shelton get a little bit tangled up underneath the boards. Nothing coming of it. Danny Evans now. Danny Evans just lost everything there, didn't he? Oh, and there's juggling going down at the other end by Shelton as well. He can't get hold of it. Strawberry strips him. Will Neighbour from way downtown. No good. Hamlet comes away with it. Oh, and it hits Cone on the back. They're not on the same page. Ball picked up by Strawberry out to Danny.
Bit out of control there in a couple of phases of play. There. The point guards need to take control and look after the game.
Motford being marked very, very closely by Evans there. Defoe over Big Mike. This time no good. Good D applauded by Coach Thomas. Just to our left here. Obviously a lot happier this week in this first half. Danny Evans with the 3, asks the referee for the foul and gets warned for flopping.
Yep, there wasn't even anyone around him to warrant falling on the ground there, to be fair. So
I think maybe if he hadn't asked, he might not have got one. And a foul at the other end by Ben Motford. Offensive push on Evans,
which I think is a frustration foul for Ben. He's been, and I think that was just a bit of a frustration one.
It's quite funny actually. Before the game, we were chatting to Ben. He was saying about he's obviously been recently become a dad.
Right.
So congratulations there, Ben.
Absolutely.
And he said a lot of things, changes perspective on things a little bit. He's not as worried about the referee's calls now. Doesn't get us involved and things like that. So I said, we'll wait for the technicals coming and
we'll wait for the tip to happen and then see if we're still talking about it.
Oh dear me. Once it's there, it's always there, isn't it? Once you step over that line.
They're just checking here to see if the last shot was a 2 or a 3. I don't think it went up on the board.
Oh, right, yeah. It's been adjusted. 31-19 now to the Phoenix. The biggest lead of the night. 7:24 on the clock. And I believe we're back with pictures. Mockford is taking a seat.
With the refs coming over to the score bench, Coach Stoodle's taken that opportunity to have a quick word to say what he thinks has been not looked after out there.
So Mockford on the bench now with his second foul, and we're back underway again. Strawberry, Neighbour, up to Evans, takes to go one way, shot's got to go. Neighbour puts it up, no good, high off the backboard. Hamlet straight out, lays it in, no problem.
Good defensive set for Newcastle, and they turned that into offense straight away, getting the ball up the court.
Yeah. One pass layup.
Yeah.
No problem.
Quickest way to get it up.
Absolutely.
Turning defense to offense.
Will Neighbour.
There he is.
Doing what Will Neighbour does.
There he is.
Again, you said about scouting reports. Ben Thomas, don't give Ben Motford an inch. Sure, they must have been on the Eagles scout report as well, not to give Will Neighbour that sort of space.
Yep, you're right.
Shelton. Good defence there by Will Neighbour there. Shelton lent into him a little bit, although he was...
I'm surprised they haven't gone to that matchup more with Sheldon inside.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't gone to that Newcastle.
Just overcooked the layup. Ball found Neighbour. Shot clock down to 5. Over the top, no good. Back iron. Varner now for the Eagles. He goes from downtown and he makes no mistake. All string 3.
I thought he played well on Friday as well. Varner.
Yeah.
He played good. Good intensity.
Yeah, he did. He had a good game on Friday night. I mean, the Eagles were there, weren't they? Right to the last. That final quarter.
Yep.
Varner 15 points on Friday night. Strawberry going one way and the other has got to go. On the buzzer, no good. Oh, and foul there. Foul called.
The last 3 offences for Phoenix. Will Neighbours had to get a shot off and just throw a shot off.
Yeah, that's got to be a little bit of a concern for the Phoenix, because they were a lot freer in the early part of the game, weren't they?
Yeah.
Great ball movement, great off the ball movement as well, which was creating the spaces and giving them plenty of time to get that shot up.
Yeah, they're going back into a mentality of dribbling the ball too much, so they've got to get into the offensive sets quicker.
Getting good looks
nice
early
pass.
on, just like that. Beautiful wraparound pass from Daniels, and Big Mike stuffs it home again. Varner over the top of Larry. Short this time. Austin Jr. off to the races for the Phoenix. Gives it to Daniels. He looks to go through, but no way round. Kennedy, Strawberry for the 3 over Kennedy. Hits the back iron.
Daniels is doing a good job of attacking the basket and then kicking. So he's finding some open people.
He is, definitely. The brightest we've seen Lloyd Daniel in this brief spell here for the Phoenix. Yeah. Most definitely. Kennedy for the 3.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan's been told about defensive sets, their defensive structure.
Teague to Daniels. Looking for options. There's nothing, a bit static again there. Big Mike though to work down low though. One-on-one with Auburn. Goes one way, then the other.
Some good straight up defense there and then staying inside the cylinder.
Varner. That's better D from Strawberry and forces the Eagles into the turnover. Jordan Strawberry takes a rest.
It's a really tough pass to make from one side of the court to the other.
It was. Anderson coming back into the action. Austin Jr. sees a gap down the middle, cut out by Auburn. Inside now to Big Mike. One way, then the other. This time he goes right-handed over the top of Auburn's. He thought he was going one way, spun back the other and just left him looking into space. Little baby hook in. And extends the lead back into double digits again. 11 up the Phoenix, 38-27. 3:20 of this first half left. Duke Shelton at the other end.
And that's where I thought they'd go to a bit more, was go to Shelton inside. He's a big body.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's quite athletic as well, so I thought they might have gone to that a little bit more tonight.
Well, it worked for him last year.
Yeah.
I know it's a different setup, different personnel, different dynamic, but Larry just off left for his 3-point attempt. Kennedy again for the Eagles. Now, Shelton there. Kennedy with ball movement. Varner takes it inside. Nice dish down low to Auburn's. He gets swatted out by the 2 bigs from the Phoenix. Foul by one of them. It's Big Mike. And Auburn's will go to the line for 2 shots. A double substitution for the Eagles. Cohn and Varner taking a seat. Mockford and Hamlet back into the action.
Defensively, a coach's nightmare getting the shot clock down to, I think it was down to 2, nearly 1, and then fouling right out the end.
Nothing more frustrating than for a coach.
That's right. That's right. They play good defense though. They play good defense for the whole 22, 23 seconds, and then.
Not that Coach Thomas gets frustrated with little things like that. It's not as bad when you've got a decent lead. I want to make sure you keep that lead. Bit of a press put on there by the Eagles, but easily broke by Austin Jr.
Yeah, it looks like they're picking it up defensively, Newcastle. Pressing a little bit up the court.
Daniel, corner pocket, gets his own rebound. Fakes going up. Oh, what a beautiful finish by Lloyd Daniels. Foul on Auburn's.
Got him up in the air and then was able to contort his body.
Yeah, around him. That was superb play.
Yeah.
That's Auburn's second foul. It was unfortunate Big Mike went up for the rebound and it just bounced on the second time on the ring.
And Auburn's has been playing good defense too, actually.
Yeah.
He's been playing up in the cylinder. He's been contesting. He's been making those shots tough inside. But he's done a good job.
To the action. Both good from Lloyd Daniels. Takes him into double figures. And the Phoenix lead back out to double figures. inside the final 2 minutes of this half. 41-31, the Phoenix lead. Hamlet going in, a little teardrop over the bigs. This time it's good.
Looks like that's his go-to shot, that little floater coming down the lane.
Yeah. No matter how big you are, if you've got someone that's got his eye in like that, you can't defend them.
It's a good shot.
It is.
Oh.
Great adjustment from Jamal there. Yeah. Shelton got Kennedy got a piece of his three-point attempt, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was good hands. He got him on the way up.
Yeah. Presence of mind not to grab hold of the ball and come down for the travel.
Way down.
Let the ball bounce.
Yeah.
Tried to get in but couldn't convert. And Eagles with the rock again. Hamlet. Strawberry back on. Shot clock going down again. 4-3. Overcut the rebound. And a 24-second shot goes, but T's got hold of it. Shelton with the foul. Coach Thomas is insisting it's a unsportsmanlike.
No, I don't think so. I think he made a play for the ball. He wasn't last man back. He didn't meet any of the criteria for an unsportsmanlike for me.
Coach Thomas obviously thought he didn't, but then every coach thinks that way, doesn't he? So Tajai Teague on the line for two.
There's a good matchup on the floor with Daniels and Mockford. Both playing really tough deny defense. And that's a good matchup for
Absolutely,
me. I like that matchup.
Yeah. It's great when you see these individual battles in games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who comes out on top.
Yeah,
and how it impacts in the game as a whole.
Yep. And again, obviously, they're playing great deny defense, well, especially because they know about Ben's shooting. And Daniels is shot well actually as well. So they've both stepped up and made those adjustments.
Timeout for the Phoenix. Just inside the final 60 seconds of this first half. Phoenix lead 43-33. Do you think Coach Thomas has took Lloyd Daniel to one side this week and clearly defined his job role? Because he seems a completely different player.
You know what? From week to week sometimes you can either have a coach like that come to you and say, look, you didn't do this well, you didn't do that well. What I want you to work on is this and this. But also as a player yourself and teammates, like you can have people like Mike or Will, people that have been in the league and go, hey, you need to make this adjustment to play in this league.
Yeah.
So if he's got that support from, and that's what we talk about when you say locker room, and that's why Darius would be so good for the Eagles in the locker room, to be able to give that experience and say these are the changes you need to make to be able to play in the BBL.
Yeah.
You know, it's invaluable. So yes, I think that Coach Thomas would take him aside and say, hey, we need more of this from you and we need more of that, because you're right, he's come out, he's attacking the basket defensively, he's his energy's up, and it was like we never noticed him last week. But today we're mentioning him even more.
Absolutely. His confidence is there both on his shooting as well.
Yeah.
His confidence wasn't there last week on his shooting.
And again, that may be Coach Thomas saying, look, hey, we want you to shoot the ball. Or his teammates saying, hey, man, we got confidence in you. When we give you the ball, we want you to, go to work.
But he's took it in as well as outside as well. I think that's the thing.
Yep.
He's had a lot of success inside. Mockford looking to send it out. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Defoe from down low for the Eagles. He ain't going to miss them.
There's that mid-range game from Darius.
Takes him on to 7 points personal. 20 seconds of this first half to go. But again, about 7 seconds differential on the shot clock. Strawberry calls the play for the Phoenix. Shot clock down to 3.
He needs to attack off that pick and roll.
Short, way short. Shelton on the floor. asking the referee for something off the ball. I didn't see that myself, did you?
I didn't, but Jordan Strawberry needs to attack on the pick and roll. He's coming off that pick and roll and he's drifting off it instead of attacking the basket to try and get that mismatch on the big.
Yeah.
The big doesn't need to defend him if he's just going to float out of it.
So 5.3 left in this half. Double substitution from Coach Thomas for the Phoenix. Otcherobia and Teague out, Neighbour and Evans in. Foul there by Strawberry. They got fouls to give, only one on the board for the Phoenix.
And that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to run the clock out by fouling them. They just have to be very careful because they need to make sure they make attempts at the ball. Otherwise it could turn into an unsportsmanlike very quickly. So
that's his first of the night. Over to Defoe. Defoe well juggles it, loses control. Combs somehow gets a shot off. No good. And that will do you for the first 20 minutes action here tonight at EPSV. That sees the hometown Cheshire Phoenix go into the locker room. 8 points to the good. 43 points to 35. Margin which they've held pretty much most of the half. A good half, I'm sure Ben Thomas will be satisfied not only with the score but the manner of which they've got about and performed in that first half.
Yeah, they played a bit better together and they, like we were talking about, they moved well off the ball. So they obviously been trying to work on that system. But I think also Coach Studel, I know that they're down 8, but potentially he could be quite happy with what's happening as well because they seem to be playing a bit more as a team than they did on Friday. So they've stepped back out onto the floor and looking a bit better as well. So there's some positives to take out of there for both teams, and it provides for a good second half.
So it's all going to be heating up here in the PSV, I'm sure, in this second half. We're going to go to a break very shortly. We'll have a look over some stats.
Know our name.
Lloyd Garner is back in the mix, back in the fold in the British Basketball League, now starting with the Surrey Scorchers and making sure he's already signed some big names to the table. Andrew Lawrence coming off the back of injury, the former GB guard ready to take to the floor once again, is going to be a vital part of this Surrey Scorchers team. Heyoga Denby is back. He wasn't going to go anywhere else. Boban Jackdonley coming down from Glasgow, bringing his consistency, his strength and his prowess inside the paint. Kyle Carey coming over from the Cheshire Phoenix. We've also got Josh Steele joining from the Manchester Giants, coming from Lloyd Garner's former club. And of course, we've got Luke Bussenbrew stepping up, Division 1 talent, Team Solent Kestrels. He's moving into the BBL this season. We'll be excited to see what he does. It's his time to shine. Will they be able to bring trophies back to Surrey for the first time since the Guildford Heat? Only time will tell. Let's find out more very soon. So now we look to north of the border, where they continue to make their preparations for the upcoming 2022-23 season. Of course, they have new owners at the helm, making sure that they fill the war chest with enough gold for head coach Gareth Murray to make changes to his roster. Well, some of the changes he's not making is bringing back that Scottish contingent, including Commonwealth Games participants Carl Jimenez, Johnny Bunyan and Fraser Malcolm, who signs on a 2-year deal. Big man Ali Fraser is back, coming off the back of injury, looking to make great strides in this year's competition. They also make a wealth of US import signings, including dual USA and Ivorian Coast international Patrick Tape is ready to compete for the Rocks this season. And as I've already said, they are looking to make improvements, as they made 3 semi-finals last year and they haven't won a trophy in the past 20 years. Could the good times be coming back? But it's time to find out. And it's time to lock into the Steel City. The B-Brawn Sheffield Sharks mark a new era in the club's history as club captain Mike Tuck announces his retirement from professional basketball. But head coach Atiba Lyons has plans, and you better believe he's returned some great talent from last season's roster, including the new captain. It's Rodney Glasgow Jr. They also returned Kipper Nichols, Marcus Delpeche, Jordan Ratinho, Bennett Cook, as well as Nate Montgomery. They've also put the spade in the soil for their brand new arena, marking a great opportunity for this club to continue their growth and build upon the success of last year's second place finish in the BBL Championship. Will the Shark be circling the waters near you? Let's find out soon.
Know our name. Know our name.
Time to focus in on the treble-winning champions from last season. The Leicester Riders Basketball Club are not messing around with the off-season signings they have made. They've returned their championship-winning roster, including former BBL MVP Gino Crandall, for that to only unfold as he takes his talent to Germany. But now, the new guard in town, CJ Jackson, is stepping into the roster to make a difference to this year's team. Head coach Rob Paternostro wants to add to his 17 titles and also brings in young up-and-coming star Blake Bowman. As the Riders not only look for domestic success, they look to take on Europe as well as they head on through to the Basketball Champions League qualification matches. It's almost time to see this season unfold, and there is the preview for your reigning champions, the Leicester Riders. How can we move on with our season previews without talking about the most highly anticipated team in the history of the British Basketball League? The London Lions Basketball Club and head coach Ryan Schmidt have put together a phenomenal roster to take on the rest of the BBL this year, including young starlet Bradley Kaboza and Josh Ward-Hibbert returning. They've added Kareem Queeley, Obi Soko, Luke Nelson, just to name a few, as well as former NBA talents Kostas Koufas and Sam Dekker. Wow, London Lions are really going for it this year, but not just in the domestic competition. They'll be flying the flag for GB in the 7 days Euro Cup competition, taking on the continent to see who really is the best in the business. Whatever happens, however it plays out, it's definitely going to be historical and a landmark season for the London Lions Basketball Club. All was quiet in the northern powerhouse city of Manchester. In fact, quite worrying time for all British Basketball League fans. Then in with a big explosion comes Vince McCauley, the new head coach for the Manchester Giants this season. He brings in an incredible wealth of talent and experience to this year's roster, including former BBL MVP Ramon Fletcher. From the London Lions, he brings in Dirk Williams, the former Leicester Rider and Newcastle Eagles Corey Johnson, the sharpshooter, joins, and also UAB teammate of Dirk Williams, William Lee, is back in the British Basketball League. They also signed young up-and-coming talent Nathan Robinson to the squad this year. Things are looking exciting in Manchester with more signings to be announced. Will Bellevue be the place to be for this season's British Basketball League campaign? The Giants have got some climbing down that beanstalk to do.
Know our name.
And up next, it's time to focus in on one of the most successful clubs in British Basketball League history. The Newcastle Eagles have got a new head coach flying into the nest. Mark Stutel, the former interim GB head coach and now assistant coach to the GB men's team, is ready to take to the floors at the Virtu Motors Arena with his brand new roster. Darius Defoe being the only Eagle to return to the nest. Now, Eagles have looked across the seas to try and find new talent, to replace former BBL MVP Ramon Fletcher, and they found NBA G League guard Javion Hamlet, who'll be making his debut this season in the BBL. Joining him will be a former Worcester Wolves British-Canadian passport holder Jamel Kennedy will be joining the Eagles this season. And of course, we see Roel Graham-Bell making the move from the Plymouth City Patriots to Newcastle this year, looking to bring those high-flying talents and that energy to the Eagles this season. Also, Ben Mofford will be joining the team after coming off a Eurobasket GB campaign. Will this be the season for the Eagles to overcome that previous playoff disappointment? We'll find out shortly, and I'm sure the Eagles are ready to go to battle. So welcome back. It's time to talk about the Plymouth City Patriots. New boys in the block last season as a new franchise birthing from the ashes of the Plymouth Raiders. Head coach Paul James continues to make history with more games. Over 1,000 games in the BBL, who've been looking to put together another strong roster to compete again in this season. Of course, in their first year, they made the playoffs, knocking out the Newcastle Eagles. Magnificent achievement for the Plymouth City Patriots. Will they be having more of that this season? Well, of course, they've got some great returners back to the squad this year. Boo Man Williams looking to electrify crowds around the country alongside BBL veteran Rashad Hassan and Troy Simons returning also. Romario Spence is a new addition to the Plymouth City Patriots, coming off the back of an NCAA college career as well as his time at Charnwood College Riders Basketball Academy. LVC Dusha will also make a return for the Plymouth City Patriots, pulling the strings, finding the dimes, making the plays. And there's much more signings to come from the Plymouth City Patriots as they get ready to mount their campaign for this upcoming season. Well, let's see how it all turns out for them.
Know our name.
And a very warm welcome back to EPSV for tonight's BBL Championship game. Cheshire Phoenix versus the Newcastle Eagles. At the half, Phoenix take a 43-35 lead. And a much better performance this week from the hometown team. Sure, Ben Thomas will be much happier with his team tonight. A couple of stats that you can see on the screen there in the Eagles' favour. You see the total rebounds 19 and 18 broken down. Offensively, 6 to the Phoenix and just the 3 to the Eagles. One of the big ones. And from that, as well as a result of that as well, one of the big differences, second chance points. Phoenix have put back 7 points for second chances. Newcastle Eagles have yet to convert a second chance.
Wow.
So that's a huge difference compared to this time last week.
Yeah, it is. Again, obviously they've worked on that in the week. Another thing from the stats that I noticed from the Newcastle, from the Eagles game from Monday, on Monday Friday. Sorry, they didn't shoot well against Manchester, and they were down in the 30s percentage-wise for shooting. Their free throws were really good, but they're shooting a lot better today.
Yeah, definitely. And there's not a great deal between the two teams. Eagles shooting percentage-wise slightly better, 45.2 to 43.2 to the Phoenix. But they got off a few more shots and made a couple more. So obviously that's speaking in the Phoenix favour. And one more as well, but the stats are not showing quite on the screen at the moment, is that the Phoenix have looked after the ball really well in the first half. Just 4 turnovers to the Eagles' 9. So I'm sure that's something that Coach Stootle would have worked on. the fast break points as well. We saw a lot of them, 10 fast break points to 5 to the Eagles. And I think a lot of them would have come from that first half of the first quarter.
We
saw
from the intense defense, turning defense into offense.
Before the Eagles adjusted back and just really stemmed that flow a little bit, didn't it?
That's
really?
Right. Yeah. But again, it makes for a good second half.
Absolutely. Another very busy EPSV here tonight. Not quite as packed as it was last week, but still a good, healthy crowd here. Lloyd Daniels for the Phoenix, leading all scorers on 11 points. And we touched on in the first half. What a great performance he's had, and what a different player. And I think almost similar again, reverting back to last week, the only other game we can really compare anything to so far this season. It seems to have had a similar effect for the Phoenix tonight as Isa Brandon had for Plymouth last week.
Yes, and that's what we were doing. And that's what he'll be looking out for. He's Coach Thomas will be wanting them to get involved a lot more, so he can find his way in the team and see what's happening. So, yeah, good adjustment. It's a good adjustment from him.
Absolutely. Play is about to get underway for the second half. It's going to be Phoenix possession. Lloyd Daniels with the inbound. Larry Austin Jr. controlling the play for the Phoenix. Back to Daniels. High screen there by Teague. Plays it back out to Austin Jr. Jamal Anderson looks inside to Big Mike. No good. Teague goes one way, then the other. Nice spin from Teague and lays it up off the board. That was beautiful play from Tajai Teague there.
It's like a trick shot.
Yeah. Another player that stepped up from last week.
They're moving the ball well again, like we say. They're moving the ball well, moving well off the ball as well. So, nice
Hamlet.
take.
Great drive in. Dished off from Shelton. And gets the Newcastle scoreboard moving for the second half. Still the 8 points lead for the Phoenix. Daniel to fight his way around there under intense pressure from Cone. Anderson over the top to Big Mike.
Great help side.
Yeah. Nearly snatched it off him. Just 2 seconds left on the shot clock though.
Looks like defensively Coach Stoodle's got them fronting the post and relying on help side to come if it gets thrown over. Which is what happened there. Cohen he met his assignment and got the help side.
So ball knocked out, still 2 seconds on the shot clock. Out to Anderson. And he gets the better of Mockford defensively. Mockford getting increasingly frustrated, I feel, as the night goes on. Something else that's not worked for him. A big foul there by Teague. Looked to try and snatch it and just made a grab then, didn't he, really?
A lot of coaches teach, if you're going to go for the steal, make sure it's 100%. Because if you're out of the game, then you're leaving a 4 on 5 defensively.
Cone now for the Eagles. Austin Jr. Mockford down low to Shelton. Shelton going one-on-one with Teague. Big man move there underneath the basket. Spun it off.
What a finish.
Beautiful finish from Duke Shelton.
He even started one side of the hoop and finished on the other, up and under.
Ball over the top. 3 second call on Big Mike. It's one you don't see called often.
No, you don't tend to, and a lot of people ask for it for that 3 second call, but what you've got to be aware of, if you're not part of the game or you have no...
Active.
Yeah, if you're not active and part of the game, then you can stay in there for quite a while, to be fair.
Like an old football manager used to say, though, if you're not active, what you're doing on the court. Great play by Daniel.
There it is again.
Dishes it off inside to Big Mike, who stuffs it home and takes that Phoenix lead back out to double digits. 49-39 Just over 2 minutes of this third quarter gone. Hamlet looking to go inside, one way then the other. No way through by Anderson. Shot clock down to 3. And nice long 2 there from Shelton, showing he can do it both ways.
Yep, it's good defense by Jamal. And they were just a missed assignment of Sheldon coming up high and shooting that free throw shot.
Daniel Cohen got away with one there a little bit, I think.
There's that front in the post again and the help side
Anderson,
coming.
yeah, help side coming. Great D by Shelton. But Phoenix still got the ball. Daniel no good.
Yep.
Off the ball foul there by Big Mike.
Yep. That's another good matchup with
that's his second.
Mike and Brandon Auburn's.
Yeah.
That's another good matchup in there. And
Absolutely.
You watching them off the ball and they're very physical, both of them together, both ends, which is good to see sometimes, you know. Can't take the physicality out of the game.
Oh.
Let them play a bit, you know.
Absolutely, definitely. That's one of the things that makes the game great.
Yeah.
And them personal duels that we talked about earlier on.
Yep.
Well retrieved by Anderson, keeps the ball live for the Phoenix. Daniels now to Teague. Teague going one-on-one inside. Oh, what a big move! And a big muscle flex by Tajai Teague. Foul called on Auburn's. That's his third, I think.
He had that mismatch with Hamlet.
Yeah.
Took him down inside, and that's what you do with a mismatch like that. You go straight down into the paint, you attack the basket, and the help side came a little late. The assignment came a little late by Auburn.
Yeah. He's going to take a seat. Darius Defoe coming back in. And Teague on the line for the bonus. He's good again. 5 from 5 from the line from Teague tonight. Takes his tally up to 9 and extends the Phoenix lead out to 11. Varner. Ooh. Larry Austin Jr. looked at his hands and said, how the heck did that slip through? Almost gave it to me. End line play for the Eagles. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Hamlet with the play. Cone short. And Teague with the rebound. Outlet to Anderson. Anderson moves the ball round for Phoenix. Teague from way downtown is low, short. Back to Teague though. Oh, and last time it's a blocking foul on Cone. Teague will go to the line for 2. Cone doesn't look in a great way. A little guy with a big heart standing in the lane looking to take the charge against. Maybe they'll think better of it next time.
Yeah, there's some big bodies coming down there too. So, I mean, good on him for going in there and attempting.
And you feel aggrieved as well, don't you, when you get the foul called on you? You think you've done everything right.
Yeah.
You've just been railroaded. Absolutely flattened.
You're injured on the ground and then you get up to find you've got a foul as well.
Teague continues his run from the line.
Look quite close though. Look quite close. I mean, there was a lot of bodies for us to see the angle we had.
Yeah.
And the referee was in a better position than we were. But could have been close.
Remains 100% from the line. 7 from 7 now from Teague. Takes him into double figures. Joint team and game high of 11 with Daniels. And a third foul called on Larry Austin Jr. there. Just a bit of a clumsy one. He's going to take a seat.
I think going back to it, Mark, I think physicality-wise, I think the referees have got it just right. Yeah. They're letting people play when it's in and they're trying to find their positions, but they're not letting people have a disadvantage from someone else's physical play.
Yeah, I think you're right there, yeah. Great mid-range there from Hamlet.
And that'll go down well with players like Darius, with Mike, with Allburns, where they like to fight for position.
Absolutely.
And then let us play from there. So, yeah, it's a good
if it's a 50-50-50 battle, you know, big man on big man, or little man on little man, then like you say, it's...
Yeah, let them get their positions and let them play from there.
Yeah. Great transition basket there. Cone with the steal out to Kennedy. He lays it in for 2. And back to a single-digit lead for the Phoenix, down to 9, 54-45. It's getting on for halfway through this third quarter. Ball over the top inside to Neighbour. Neighbour looking to go one way, then the other. Little baby hook, no good. Great D there from Kennedy.
Yeah, it was good defense. Stayed straight up, just played him face up, and done a good job.
Down at the other end as well. Big pick and roll. Couldn't finish it. Teague looking to go all the way. Oh. And somehow Darius Defoe got away with that.
Well,
I shuffled across with him.
I think there wasn't enough contact to call anything like that. I think Teague was a bit out the way.
Darius using his experience.
Yeah. And Teague was trying to handle the ball like a point guard.
Yeah. See, more often than not, that doesn't happen for the big guys. Oh, stolen away on the top. Kennedy then. Thought he would have got called for the foul there. Wow. Oh, and something gets called in the end. That was a late call.
We've just seen a conversation there with what we were talking about there from Darius and Coach Thomas and referee Tom Muddyman having a chat about whether Darius was still or not.
I think Coach Thomas has been warned as well for that. I think that was the... maybe not.
Do you know what? I'm part of that too. A lot of people think that you can't move when you're trying to take an offensive foul. You just have to be in the spot before the other person.
Good tough D there from Cone. Made Strawberry force up a tough one there. Varner going the long way round. Whips it out to Kennedy. Back inside to Defoe. He's one-on-one with Anderson. Goes a long way round. Great D from Anderson. Oh, and a foul underneath the basket on Strawberry as Kennedy looked to put the rebound back in. And he will go to the line for 2 shots. That's his second. Phoenix in the penalty. 3:47 of this quarter to go. Substitution for the Phoenix. Jamal Anderson taking a seat. Danny Evans back into the fray. First one's long by Kennedy.
Yeah, I think just going back to that, to trying to take a charge and the screen down there with Darius Rock, I was saying what people need to know is, you know, you can move to, even though you're taking a screen, you can be moving backwards, and if someone runs into you, what have you done wrong as a defender? But you need to be at that spot before the offensive player. Yeah. That's the key thing. And then be hit within the torso.
Second good for Kennedy. Lead down to 8 now. Danny Evans takes it in. Over the top. Oh, and a foul there by Varner. Great first step from Evans there. Just left Ben Mockford defending fresh air.
Yeah, like you say, a good first step there and making aggressive attack to the basket.
Yep.
It was good. Varner's defense at first was good. He just he got caught up in the air and had nowhere else to go. So
2 bodies are in midair together.
Yep.
They're on a collision course. There's only one result. First short for Evans. Good free throwing so far from the Phoenix as well. I'll put the mockers on it now, you watch. Oh, the second one wipes its feet, but it's good. Only one previous miss to that. So it's only 2 shots. 10 from 12 so far from the Phoenix. And again, that's a step up from last week. They missed about 7 or 8 last week, didn't they? So.
Yep.
in a 7-point loss. Good work by Varner over the top of Evans there.
He's a good player, Varner.
He is.
Very athletic and he works hard. He's got good hustle in him.
Had his first season as a pro in Austria last year. Averaged 18 points per game over there, so certainly scored. Teague sees it. Oh, overcooks it. Saw the gap. And he's gone back up for a second attempt. Wow.
He even clapped himself to say, yes, sorry, I missed the first one, I'll go again.
Everything just opened up like a pattern of the waves. Here we go.
Go again.
Cleared for take. Oh no, and great hands by Com. Beautiful work by Daniels. Absolutely superb stuff there. Frenetic action here at EPSV. And Tajak Teague benefiting both times.
He's got a smile on his face because I think some of the handles that he has is maybe the ball's slippery. Let's put it that way. But again, like you say, with Daniels down on there, he's just staying within the game. He's staying there. He's keeping himself active, and you work hard like that, you get the treats.
We saw on the replay there, great work by Teague. The first one, it was like a pattern of the waves, wasn't it? He just, all of a sudden just saw it, everything open up. He went for the highlight reel, overcooked it. Phoenix managed to get the rebound though, and somehow it fell back into Teague's hands, and managed to get the stuff the second time of asking. And then on the fast break, as we said, he's no point guard. Just great hands by Cone, in all fairness.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, he couldn't quite grab hold of the ball himself under control, and very fast hands from Daniel. Fast hand and fast mind to get hold of it, get the steal, and in one failed swoop, find Teague back under the basket again.
And I think part of Coach Stoodle's time out there will be because how many Phoenix players were down there off the fast break, and the transition defense from the Eagles wasn't quite there. Don't give up on a play. That might be what Coach Stoodle's trying to say to them. Don't give up on the play.
Yeah, most definitely. 4 quick points there for the Phoenix. Extends their lead back out to double digits again. 59-48. They lead. Just over 2 minutes of this third quarter to go. Kennedy for the Eagles, out to Defoe. Shot clock down to 5. Shot's got to go. Hamlet, nice long 2 from the top of the key.
They've run that pick and roll play a couple of times and done quite well. Hamlet coming off that pick and roll, and he shot well off it as well.
Neighbour, out wide to Strawberry. One way, then the other. Neighbour open. Teague drives in again. This time decides to lay it in.
Strawberry got a hit
points personal now.
With a double screen.
He's definitely come out to play tonight. Oh, lob pass over to Danny Evans. Wasn't expecting it. Coach Thomas saying, get down low. Let the guards, let the little guys do that sort of stuff.
I think it was there, just the execution wasn't great. Oh, yeah.
Go, Jamal.
Yeah. It was a good call. Paul Walton was a good call on the base. Danny Evans trying to bump the cutters, but you can't put a double forearm into people cutting through the through the key.
Daniels taking a seat. Jamal Anderson back in. Referee Walton just explaining that to Mr. Evans. And Darius Defoe on the line for 2 shots. Became the 7th highest scorer of all time in the league back in March last year when he recorded his 6,000th point.
Wow. Wow, yeah. He's a legend of the game. He's a legend up here in the Newcastle area, that's for sure.
And extended it further tonight as well. Kennedy with the rebound for the Eagles. Hamlet now stopped in his tracks by Neighbour, but he's gone again. Overcooks the rebound a little bit. Strawberry gets hold of the rebound, brings it back up for the Phoenix. We go inside the last 30 seconds of this third quarter. Phoenix up by 9. Neighbour from way downtown. Oh, the crowd love that. Neighbour loves that.
That was deep. That was very deep.
Everyone in blue loves that here in the EPSV. Final play of the quarter now for the Eagles. Hamlet.
Going back to the pick and roll.
Yeah. Looking to go one side, then the other. Trips. Teague with a long range effort. No good. Hamlet looked for the foul. Coach Stootle not happy that nothing was called either. Referees didn't see anything. Another conversation going on off court as they go off between Mr. Walton and Mr. Defoe.
Looked like the defensive player was there the whole time, and he stepped up and then tried to throw the step through. It looked like he fell. I mean, he's got to try and get a bit more control of his body, and rather than try and have that contact and finish on the floor, try and take the contact and finish strong. Because he's already shown us that he can do that, as he's doing now.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been doing it all night. 14 points personal to Javion Hamlet. As we see the battle of the bigs down low on the highlights there, just like you said, Salty. Let him play. And it produces good basketball as well. Yeah. It's entertainment, isn't it? That's what people want to come in and see.
Yeah, big bodies bumping each other. If they're not putting each other at a disadvantage and they're just fighting for position, let them go. And I think we've got the good criteria for that tonight.
Yeah. Just going through some highlights of that third quarter. Hamlet there, you see with that long two that he produced. So 12 points the advantage to the Phoenix.
Looks like we've got a tie in the minute. Are we all done? Last chance.
Leading all scorers so far. Tajai Teague, 17 points. Lloyd Daniels on 11. Jamal Anderson on 10. The other two players in double figures for the Phoenix. And just one player in double figures for the Newcastle Eagles. It's Javion Hamlet on 14 points. Hamlet going to be a dad for the first time in November. So I wish him and his partner all the very best for that.
Get all the sleep now while you can, mate. Get all the sleep now, bro.
Changes your life. All for the better. All for the better. And just while I'm thinking about that, actually, speaking as a father, if you're ever in a position like this, don't forget to mention your daughter's birthday.
Oh.
Like I did last week. So, belated happy returns to Emily. 26. And, with all the faffing about the technical stuff and everything that we were thrown into last week, I was completely thrown and it completely slipped my mind. So, yeah,
yes,
many happy belated birthday wishes to Emily for last week.
Happy birthday, Emily. You should have let me know, because I would have did it. Oh, sorry. There's a big stat from that from the thing at the moment, points in the paint.
Yep.
Phoenix 32 points, Newcastle only 16.
Big positives to be gained in all aspects of the game, I think, really, aren't there, tonight for the Phoenix compared to last week, most definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously had a good week in the training gym.
Yep.
Defoe, big battle again. Big Mike, I think, took one in the thigh there. He's holding his bit of a dead leg maybe going up. I don't know, but he's made of tough stuff. I'm sure he can run that off.
And Darius was running back asking for a foul there too, but they're getting that at both ends. Darius is getting that same contact down there too.
No good this time. Colton comes away with it for the Eagles. Nice high screen there by Defoe. Gets it back off Cole round the back pass. Oh, and this time Defoe misses. foul by Will Neighbour off the ball, and it's going to be end-line position. Yeah, I think Mike probably just took one in the thigh. He was just flexing his leg there, wasn't he? Just to stretch it out a little bit.
He's marking Darius, so he's going to get physically beat up, I tell you.
Cowan. Shot clock going down. 3, 2. Oh, great defence this time by Will Neighbour.
I think in that instance, Shelton has to, when he gets the ball in, he's straight away looking to pass out again. Yeah. He needs to go to work a little bit in either a face-up or a back-down game like Darius.
Improve that point in the paint stat that we talked about.
Yeah.
Cherobia to Strawberry. Look for the give back again there, but nothing on the way through. Evans. Shot's got to go. Strawberry from way downtown for 3! Nothing but net from Jordan Strawberry, and a big block at the other end by Will Neighbour. This is live in the crowd in EPSV. Danny Evans going down a bit of a blind alley at the other end. Steadies things up though. Grabs the break. Oh, what a beautiful play by Evans. Got Shelton off his feet. And just a little shot. Unmarked. No mistake. Superb play by Evans there. Used his brains really well. Knew that he was going to get swatted away if he was going up for the straightforward lay-in.
Yeah, and as a coach, when you're teaching juniors, sometimes if you're looking for an up-tempo game, you get it in the guard's hands and you push up the court. Push them up the court no matter what, and then you make a good decision once you get in the front court. And Danny Evans did exactly that. Puts the ball up the court, saw what was in front of him, pulled it back out, and then made the right decisions.
Just going through that passage of play there for the Phoenix. Strawberry at one end with a 3. Huge block at the other end by Will Neighbour. And executed on that transition by Danny Evans absolutely superbly.
One thing we do know though, if you're being coached by Coach Strudel, you won't be giving up.
No.
He's a very passionate coach, and you watch him coach on the sidelines, very animated.
Yeah.
But he's an experienced coach in the GB program, so his teams won't give up.
I think it's probably going to be a disappointing thing from Friday night's game as well, as far as Coach Steele's concerned, because going into that final quarter, they were at 1 point up. Yes. They took the first 2 of the final quarter and ended up losing by 20.
Yeah, and there was a momentum with 6 minutes to go in the fourth with the Giants, and it seemed to turn from there.
Yeah. They only scored another 7 points in that final quarter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the right call. That's the right call. It's right at the end of the shot clock, and Mike was trying to stay with the quicker, smaller point guard, but when you're moving sideways like that and stopping a player, if a player's going from A to B and you're pushing him to C, that's a foul.
Good D again from the Phoenix. Great help. Oh, brilliant play from the Phoenix duo there of Evans and Cherobia. Forced Shelton into the travel. There's one for the coaching manual. You want to see help deep? Have a look at that.
Yeah, and I think the Eagles need to move more off the ball. I think it went into Shelton there. There was no movement. So he was stuck with trying to make a move and nothing to kick out on.
Strawberry. Tense deep. Pressure from Cohen. Oh, no, Big Mike gets it stripped by Shelton. Here we go. Oh,
and he
finish from Duke Shelton.
Oh, and he
loved. There's one for the highlight reels. Gets the and one. That's Cherobia's 4th. Here we go. That's what happens when the big guys try to play the guard. Gets it stripped by Shelton. Oh, he liked that.
And I don't think Coach Thomas, with Mike being on his 3rd foul, would have worried if he had to let that one go.
No, definitely not.
He was already there. Mike was a bit late on defence. If he let that go, Coach Thomas wouldn't have minded that.
Shelton
For him
gets
to
the
pick
bonus.
up his fourth foul
That's
there, he would have rather given up the 2, I think.
And I'm sure that's what he's just said to him as he's come off the court. Teague back into the action. Oh, and a foul there by Cohen. I thought we were going to have a Strictly moment there. They were locked in.
Yeah, I don't know why he fouled there. It seemed like a silly foul to give.
Yeah.
Larry Austin was right up high on the court, wasn't going anywhere.
And a gap opens up for Austin. Brilliant block by Varner. And he gets him stripped. Oh, the Eagles ball.
Good hustle from Varner again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will we see a bit of a tide change here? Evans getting back on D. Hamlet goes one way, then the other. Takes it himself. Nice. 2 from the elbow. Takes his points tally up to 16. And the deficit down to 12. Just like you say, Salty. And his team of Mark Stootles won't give up.
Nope.
Oh, and another turnover. Hamilton off to the races. Danny Evans. Oh, the foul, and he gets the end one. And the momentum has changed. Only a couple of minutes ago, the noise levels were starting to crank up here in EPSB.
I think Coach Thomas has taken the time out to try and stop that momentum swing. But as a team, when you're behind like that, this is exactly what you want to do. Just chip away, chip away, chip away. And the defense, on the defensive end for the Eagles, they've cranked it up again, and they're putting pressure on the Phoenix guards.
Absolutely. 7-0 run to the Eagles now. And a chance to make that 8 and take the deficit back into single digits from the line for Javion Hamlet.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, chip away at those points with the clock not running.
He's a big-time player.
And the Phoenix look like they're in team fouls as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would think Coach Stoodle will have his guys attacking the basket at every opportunity and trying to get on that foul line.
Absolutely. Say Hamlet, a big-time player. Played in the G League for Texas Legends, affiliation of the Dallas Mavericks. Big boots to fill here. Coming into the Eagles this season to replace the.
Do you know what? I've been thinking about this, and I'm thinking, unless they brought in like Damian Lillard or Trae Young, any point guard coming in after Ramon Fletcher was going to have hard shoes to fill, you know.
Yeah. And he's good with the bonus. 6 years, Ramon Fletcher with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Now obviously a Manchester Giant.
And done a great job up there. Great player.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure he relished that win on Friday night. A bit emotional return. First one back as well to Newcastle.
And you know what? Congratulations to the Eagles fans as well, because they gave him a good welcome back. You know, they didn't try and boo him or anything when he got called out. No. They gave him a good round of applause, which is great to see.
Absolutely, rightly so. Hamlet again doing the damage. Takes his tally onto 20. Game high. His intensity's just starting to ramp up now. Anderson for the Phoenix. Over the top. That was never going. Kennedy dropped back. And Eagles on that transition again. Hamlet. Great laying high off the glass. He's feeling it.
Yep. Here they are chipping away again. Keep chipping away. And they're doing it on the defensive end, Mark.
Absolutely, yeah.
No stops.
Harry Austin Jr. out to Will Neighbour. Back to Austin Jr. for 3. No good. And fast break there again for the Eagles. And the lead is now down to 5. It's got the Eagles fans in the house on their feet. Inside there to Austin Jr. He looks to go in. No route through. Blocked by Kennedy. Shot clock down to 4. Daniels from way downtown hits the front iron. Kennedy comes down with the rebound. All the pressure all of a sudden now on the Phoenix.
They need to pick up defensively, the Phoenix do. Same intensity that Newcastle have done.
Hamlet with the wraparound. And the Eagles get the ball. Hamlet to Cone. Cone for 3 is long. And Austin Jr. comes away with the ball. Out to Teague, wrapping it around. Anderson going inside, off the glass. And you give the ball to the man with the experience, the cool head at his shoulders in times like this. And Jamal Anderson doesn't let you down.
He took that contact and finished strong as well. Take the contact, finish, nice soft hands as well, Jamal.
Oh, tough move inside there by Hamlet over the top of Will Neighbour. He's hurt his back though, coming down.
Well, he spent a lot of time on the floor.
Yeah. Anderson driving in at the other end, draws the foul off Varner. He'll go to the line for 2. 3.5 in this game left.
Be interesting to see how Coach Studer will use his Mockford, and as exactly as I say that, Mockford comes to the table, and Cohen, because Cohen has actually been pretty tough on defense.
Yeah.
He's pressured full court, right up the court. So, but then he hasn't got that shot like Mockford has. He's had a couple of open ones and missed. So, be interesting to see how this works now.
Anderson short with his first.
There's that different dynamic though, because Larry Austin's gone off the floor as well, so there's that Evans-Mockford matchup again.
Adjusts and gets the second. Hamlet with the ball now for the Eagles. Hamlet doing it all himself again. Out to Kennedy, whips a ball over. Varner just about manages to grab hold of over the top of Teague. Anderson comes around with the ball. Varner did well to keep that in play, didn't he? Uses full extension there to grab hold of that. Strawberry now for the Phoenix. Over the top to Teague. Oh, nice move. Just got on the blind side of Shelton. Lost his man. And just dropped it in off the glass. Back out to 9 points now for the Phoenix. Oh, a nice move inside by Hamlet. Duke Shelton juggles it.
Oh, that pass deserved more than that. That was a great pass.
Juggles it out of play. Turns the ball over at a critical point as far as the Eagles are concerned. Has that momentum shift just changed slightly again. Under 2.5 of this game to go. Phoenix lead by 8, 76-68. Teague over the top to Neighbour. Mismatch is there, but he's unable to put it away. Just rolls across the rim. Hamlet.
He's going to go at Teague. Oh, I thought he'd go at Teague there with a mismatch.
Goes inside with Teague. Oh, spins it, overcooks it though. Like Daniel. Can he keep it in? Oh, well kept in by Varner.
Is that hustle play?
Out to the Hamlet for 3, no good.
Oh.
And a foul called.
Great hustle play by Varner. That's what I said earlier. Just a hustle, and that's something that you can't coach. Hustle.
It looks like Lloyd Daniel just completely lost that where that was then, because I thought if he'd have realised where it was, he'd have been on the fast break. I didn't see where that who was that foul on. I couldn't see it. The referee was right in the way. Fouls on Shelton. He's gone to the line for 2.
It's all about time management now, going in for both teams as well, because you want to score quickly for the Eagles. but you also want to try and take the hype out of the game if you're the Phoenix. So you're probably looking to run a lot of half-court sets if you're the Phoenix. And for the Eagles, defensively, you want to get turnovers and push the ball as quick as you can up the court.
Absolutely. The clock is the Phoenix's friend for now. Shot clock down to... Oh, and it's been stripped by Cohen. On the fast break. Exactly like you said, Toti. And all of a sudden we're down to just 4 points. What a finish we've got in our hands here inside the final 90 seconds of this one. Phoenix 76, Eagles 72. Daniels with the ball for the Phoenix. He's going in all the way on his own. Dishes up to Teague. Beautiful play again by Lloyd Daniel. Saw he was down a blind alley. Teague made the high cut and laid it in. Just ease that pressure slightly. Still a two-shot game. Hamlet, little jab step again. No one inside on the first look. Cohen looks to get the kind roll out to Mockford. Nails an all-string three. And of all the players you don't want that ball to go to in a situation like that, it's Ben Mockford.
That's exactly what I was talking about, that shot, coming in the game and hitting that shot. Big-time player. He's put in these positions all the time. He knows the pressure.
Teague driving in with Kennedy. Oh, it's a big block by Shelton. What a huge play that is. Shelton going down the other end himself. And lays it in.
He made it.
Asked for the foul.
Now they've got to use
20 seconds of this game left.
They don't need to shoot the ball at all. The clock's theirs. The clock's theirs.
Shouting for the foul. Coach Stuttle yelling at his players to foul there.
I think they needed to. They needed to stop the ball a bit. I don't know if they realised that the whole entire clock, well, the rest of the clock was theirs.
Yeah.
The 24-second shot clock had gone off.
Yeah.
So I don't think they realised that.
Coach Thomas calls a timeout. Ben Mockford takes a rest. Varner's in the action. But not just yet. We've got a timeout. Oh, what a finish. We said earlier in the game, you said, I think the start of this second half, the final quarter, I can't remember now, Salty, sorry, excitement's getting to me. That any team from Mark Stuttle will never give up. And this has been epitomised in this, certainly the final half of this last quarter.
Absolutely. And you know what's good about that for the Newcastle Eagles is for such a new team who have only just come together, some of them only just played their first game last week, to come into this and to be able to chip away, and 11 seconds left, being down 1 point, that camaraderie and that team cohesion is massive. So, absolutely. I mean, no matter which way this game goes, it shows that they're developing as a team together.
Yeah, most definitely. Having been 17 points down at one stage. And the thing is, it's a much better defensive effort as well. Yeah. Having given up so many points on Friday night. And that was one of the things last season for the Eagles as well. I think probably the first time in a long, long time they've finished in a negative. Averaged 85.7 points a game last year in the league. Gave up 89.9. So any team that's given away 90 points a game, you're going to be on the wrong end of a few, aren't you? That's for sure.
That's right.
So here we go. Last 11 seconds of this contest, or last 11 seconds of the regulation of this contest, I should say.
Quick foul.
Phoenix.
Quick foul, yep.
Cohen with the foul.
They need to give one more to put them to the line.
That's his fourth.
They have to be careful, make sure they're making an attempt for the ball.
Down low again to Will Neighbour. Kennedy with the quick foul there. 7.5 seconds left on the clock now. Will Neighbour on the line for two.
It's good management from the referees too, because as a referee you realise what teams are trying to do, so you want to make that call as quick as possible so it doesn't get out of hand. So they manage the situation good.
Will Neighbour's his first visit to the line tonight. And a pressure visit at that. First one is good.
There'll be a timeout come on a make here.
can tell from the cheers. Needs to make this one, and he's good with them. Just as you said, Salty. Timeout for Mark Stootle's Eagles. It's a 3-point game. My guess is he's going to advance it.
Yep.
I guess Ben Mockford's going to be come back in.
Absolutely. But you never know. Well, I mean, that's what everyone in the gym would expect. Yes. Ben Mockford to get this shot, and for Coach Stootle to draw up a play to have Ben Mockford open. I mean, you've got Hamlet there as well that can make that shot. So you never know. Maybe they throw something and say, you know what, everyone thinks it's going to Ben. We're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Only the Eagles in that huddle will know.
Coach Thomas will certainly be guarding against that anyway.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And you would, because like we've just seen throughout the game, and even in that last shot of Ben, you don't want him to be the person open.
So here we go. We will soon find out.
And we've got to watch here too. I mean, Coach Thomas has got one more timeout, so he might see how it. Well, there's two things he can do here. He might see how the defense is and maybe take it. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to, but potentially you could take a timeout to draw up another defensive play. But it looks like he's going to keep it, because if that ball goes in, he'll want to take a timeout or advance himself.
So here we go. Hamlet with the inbound. Daniels has got the job of marking Mockford. Oh, Mockford's lost him, and the three-point shot goes up. It's short. Strawberry gets the ball, and he's fouled by Shelton. Wow, I think the Phoenix got away with one there.
But
exactly what we called earlier on.
Unfortunately, I mean, Ben made a shot exactly like that in I think it was the first quarter. So that's. He's even looking at himself saying, "Woo, you're lucky." He's saying to Coach Thomas and Coach Byrne, "You're lucky. I was good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think they're probably looking back at him and saying, "Yep, you were."
Most definitely. Jordan Strawberry's missed his first. This is a crucial one. Second now. Needs to put this away to make the tie certain. Oh no!
Heave it.
Oh, he was late. Shot's gone up after the clock, and the Phoenix somehow see their way over the line. Well, they were made to work hard for that.
Yep.
And what a game we've seen here in Ellesmere Port tonight. Phoenix just prevailing in the end, 80 points to 77 in an absolute belter of a tie. Never say die Eagles coming back into it from being 17 points down at one stage, making a real big fist of it and giving us a grandstand finish, and could have even taken it into overtime. With, I think there's just a conversation going again there between the two Bens about how they were lucky. Mark Stootle just drew up the obvious play. Ben Mockford was the target as we initially thought. There was no double bluff, and he managed to find some space to get away from Daniel as well. Bought the space he needed.
Yeah, he did.
Gave him the look he needed.
He was fading a little to his right, which probably won't be the best shot for Ben, but he makes those shots as well. So I think he was very lucky. I think the Phoenix probably sighed a
big sigh of relief.
A sigh of relief, because
100%.
As soon as they saw it in Ben's hands, they would have known that this has got a high percentage of going in.
You could almost feel it. You could almost feel a collective intake of breath when saw it in Mockford's hands, and that ball was in the air.
Yep.
But a great game here. Just to wrap things up, Tajai Teague leading the Phoenix on 21 points. Jamal Anderson 13, Will Neighbour 12, Lloyd Daniels on 11, and for Newcastle Eagles a game high, Javion Hamlet on 25 points, and Duke Shelton on 15 were the only players in double figures for the Eagles. We've had another couple of games going on tonight Down the other end of the M56, Manchester Giants took on the Plymouth City Patriots, and it wasn't a successful trip to the northwest this week for the Patriots, with the Giants running out 92 points to 79 winners. And Caledonia have had their first game of the season, yet to play a league game. Tonight it was the Cup. Caledonia Gladiators and Surrey, with the team north of the border prevailing 81 points to 72. So fantastic night's entertainment we've had here at EPSV. 2 games for the Phoenix next week. It's a Northwest Derby on Friday night.
Big game.
Phoenix travel down to Bellevue to face the Manchester Giants, a game that's live on Sky Sports, I believe.
That'll be good.
7:45
Manchester
tip-off.
playing well.
Absolutely. And Phoenix will be looking to avenge the heavy defeats they suffered at the hands of the Giants last year, particularly in the National Basketball Performance Centre. And you'll see us back here next Sunday, 5:30 tip, when it's a battle of the Pennines, with the Sheffield Sharks coming across for the BBL Championship game, a game that always close to my heart, one of the first ones I look out for. Everyone knows me, it's my Liverpool United game. I feel like almost doesn't matter what we do the rest of the season as long as we beat them. So a lot of history there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Salty, thanks again. It's been a pleasure.
Excellent, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
We've seen a heck of a game, and the home fans go away happy for once. Well, not for once, but happy this evening, unlike 7 days ago. So look forward to speaking to you all next week, calling the plays, and the Sharks are in town. Until then, everybody have a good week. Stay safe, take care.
Have a good evening.
Good night for us. Bye-bye.
What's in a name?